get started, family. Give me 1 second. Alright. Glad to be back with you. I know the music's still playing for a little bit. Let it play while I still get my life together for a second. And a couple things I want to see. Yeah, send a message and that didn't work like that. Hope you all have been having a fantastic week so far. Hope you had a great weekend. It's been pretty good for me. And honestly glad to be back with you all. I enjoy the time that we spend together on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It definitely is a lot of work, but you know what I mean? I wouldn't have it any other way, but appreciate you. Much gratitude. Anywhere you can be in this world, you choose to be with the soul family and prioritize your healing process, right? So we're gonna get started with the routine. I don't think we did it last week. I think we just started it with book club on Thursday, where we did the 4-7-8 breathing. So we are probably going to do that YouTube is like 30 seconds behind, which is wild. But we're gonna do our breathing exercise. We're back on our sacral chakra. So we're gonna do our visualization. And like I almost forgot last time, we're gonna hit the bowl one time. And we're gonna keep it rolling, family. I have started putting the link to join in the chat on most sites, so sooner or later we're gonna start getting notifications. The last time I did it, somebody did join, but I don't think they were ready to join the actual live show. But get yourself in a comfortable space if you can. Take you some deep breaths and enjoy the sound of the bowl for a little bit. My bad, family. I forgot the music was still playing. All right, family. As you know, our visualization usually ties into the element for the energy point or chakra we are dealing with, and the element for sacral is water. And just I guess give you a little more information. Sacral is a space that controls sexuality, intimacy, and passion, which reflects in pleasure. And it has a very strong hand in emotion, surprisingly. And as a matter of fact, not for a lot of people, for some people, their sacral is their emotional guide or their emotional lead or emotional head in that sense. And sacral represents relationships and is located near your bladder area. They say like below the belly button, and it's a science behind it, but the easiest way to be able to remember it, just put your hands on your bladder. And we're gonna do the breathing exercise. I appreciate you, lady promoter. I thank you, yeah, for showing up for a little bit. But so we're going to do the 4-7-8 breathing exercise, which is fantastic for anxiety and stress, and if you're struggling to sleep. So it goes, you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold for 7 seconds, and then you breathe out for 8 seconds. And Thursday we did it 3 times, but today I'm feeling froggy. We're gonna do it 4 times. Right? Give me 1 second. I gotta close my door. Listen, my space creates a certain echo. All right, family. Again, we're gonna do 4-7-8 breathing exercise for anxiety, being able to get some sleep or some rest. So utilize this. You do it in at least 4 rotations of 4-7-8. So on my count of three, you breathe in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. I'll do the count for you. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a deep breath. Let's do it again. My count of three. In for 4. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. My count of 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. So hopefully you can get in a comfortable position and close your eyes. As I stated, the element for your sacral chakra is water. Oh, and I guess the color is orange. So if you need to if you're feeling like your passion is low or your emotions kind of feel all over the place, interject a little orange into your life, foods and colors, and spend some time with water. Because the element for your sacral is water. On Thursday, I liked what we did. So with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine, visualize yourself standing there. And as you standing there, you start to change. You feel your arms change. You feel your head change. You feel your feet change. And you begin to take on the shape of a cloud. And your cloud can be any type of cloud. You can be a wispy cloud. You can be a rainstorm cloud. You can be a white cloud, gray cloud, black cloud. Whatever cloud you imagine. And inside of you, you feel each individual raindrop forming inside of you. And you look at those raindrops, and each of the raindrops has one word on it. A word that describes how important your pouring onto the world is to you. You're pouring onto your family. You're pouring onto yourself. You see love. You see worthiness. You see happiness. You see stability. You see all types of words just forming inside of you and shaping the essence of who you are. In each of these words, you faithfully and honestly believe. And as you fill up with these words, you begin to share that with the world, whether it be producing rain or more clouds to spread your message. You share the gift of who you are with us. And that's because of these things. And I want you to repeat after me. I am a creative being. I deserve to enjoy life. I am emotionally balanced. I welcome sensuality into my life. I am worthy and lovable. I am a creative being. I deserve to enjoy life. I am emotionally balanced. I welcome sensuality into my life. I am worthy and lovable. All right, so those are some affirmations that you could tell yourself to help get your sacral energy point back aligned when it's a little bit off. All right. Side cam fam, you know what's next. All right. So we're gonna do a little chatting. Move this out the way. I'm sorry, y'all gotta hear all that. I got too much going on. But you know it's always the point where I wind up having to, excuse me, do some preparations during the show. So we're not new to this. I think we'll probably go back to, we did the power of suggestion last week, and we will probably return back to suggestion at some point. But we're gonna move on to the last of the four things that we discussed that are used to program our mind, because we will use these four things to reprogram our minds and get ourselves back in alignment. Hey, hey, Sherry. Wow. I thought my you chatting just made me realize that my chat box isn't showing. It's showing everywhere else except on the screen, which is fine, because we be having that problem sometime. I appreciate you, TikTok, for joining, stopping through for a little bit. I appreciate you, Strength and Brotherhood. I see you in the house. Much respect, much support. Yo, bro, I still want you to come and do a show. You know what I mean? So we can talk about it on one of the Mondays, or I'll just reach out to you. We chat it up, and you just join, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, right now, I'll give you the topic that we're talking about, and when you know it's a topic that speaks to you, then just come on in and share your thoughts and everything, brother. You know what I mean? So, what if I want to talk about today? Ah, okay, so it's funny that we're talking about repetition and the power of repetition today. And we know that, well, I just want to talk about, I guess now it's perfect time. Repetition, for the most part, we always like to establish a definition so we can make sure that we're all working from the same page. And for the most part, repetition is just something that has already been done, whether it's written, said, or an event that has happened. It's just repetition. You do it twice. As a matter of fact, that was repetition. The amount of times that I keep saying repetition is repetition. So that's an example of it. And it's funny because last night I talked about it, like, Monday nights we still have I'm a part of that men's group, and we have our meeting on Mondays nights. And we had a discussion, and it was crazy. We had a very powerful discussion around dreams and the power of dreams and analyzing our dreams and dream experiences. And one of the wildest things ever is, I think I've started having new dream experiences, and it's in part to a new repetitive thing that I've done. So I don't know if I talked to you all about it, but I have a herbalist friend that's a part of the tribe, and she gave me a couple of things to utilize with my hape or with my Reiki sessions. She gave me, and Lord forgive me because I know I'm about to say I'm wrong, 100% wrong. But she gave me some Babasina, what? Babansana and Mogofu or something like that. And both of these herbs are supposed to be good for ultimately clarity of your dreams. And that's dreams in waking or when you're actually asleep. I looked over here because I actually have them right here. So hopefully that's not backwards to you all. Hold on. Is it too light? Mogofu and Basiana. So I bought these to store some. I bought these for snacks and now I'm using it for stuff like that. But it's supposed to be for dreams. And sometimes we think that once we start taking something, it has an initial effect. And I didn't realize until having a conversation with the brothers last night that the effect of the Bamacena has been good for me because I've been dreaming, which I do, and my dreams have been consistent, but it hasn't been anything out of the abnormal where I can attest to the herb is actually helping me, right? And it's a plant. So most of the stuff that we deal, nah, not most of the stuff. Generally, everything that we deal with in this healing aspect is plant based. Um, which is a good thing because everything that we need is provided to us on this earth. We just have to learn how to utilize the resources and maximizing them. So I've been taking them, and the other night, I swear for you, it was the craziest dream for me because I remember in my dream, I'm thinking I'm dreaming, and then I wake up in my dream to realize that I'm dreaming a dream in my dream. So does that make sense? So I'm asleep dreaming about me being asleep and dreaming. So I had one of them inception weird dreams. And I honestly have to say it, I've never in my life, I've had a lot of wild dreams, a lot of prophetic, a lot of imaginative, I don't have a lot of scary dreams. My scary dreams are mostly, I don't have nightmares. My nightmares are um what some people would think of as negative experiences that may happen in the future. So like if I know I'm gonna be sad about something, I have a dream where I feel sad and I know at some point I'm gonna wind up feeling sad or something like that. But it gave me that inception dream, and we're having this conversation because it ties into our idea and thought of repetition. So I've been doing the Babatiana for a couple of weeks now, and I do it at least 2, 3 times a week. And I assume that now it is helping my body to do whatever it needs to do because now it's assisting me in my dreams to go to new levels. So I am going to start working on trying to be more conscious in my dreams. We even discussed that last night. So maybe I can control my dreams to do a little bit more and have a little more fun. Side note, side story, but family, I love to share stories with you all and we talk about it. So as I said, repetition for the most part is just repeating something that has already been done. And for us, we really run into this we're going to discuss it in several different ways. One, we're going to recognize how repetition is introduced to us in our lives or how that we can see it at times in our life, a low level um discussion. So One way that we are introduced to repetition is through mathematics. One of the more simpler things that we learn is patterns. A, B, A, B, B, A, B, B, A, B, B, A, A, B, B, A, B, B. Whatever the pattern is, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. We recognize, we start to learn through patterns. We are learning and taught through patterns and repetition. Another main way we think about it as mathematics and the word problems that we have to solve in life and all the things of that nature. And it comes in there, and the ability to be able to recognize patterns in the world becomes very beneficial. Another way that we wind up learning about patterns is through literature. And I know I could think about one of my favorite stories that is built on repetitiveness. And it's the lesson that resides in the repeated experiences in the story. And it is the Three Little Pigs. The big bad wolf came to every one of the pigs' house, and he huffed and he puffed, and he would attempt to blow the house down. And in that repetitiveness, one of the lessons that we are subconsciously learning outside of a story about three little pigs is foundations that we build our house on makes a difference. The walls, the foundation, all of it. You can build your house out of straw. And when that tough wind comes through, it will blow your house down. You can build your house out of wood. And when that tough wind comes through, it's going to blow your house down. But if you build you a solid foundation of strong brick, when that tough wind comes, you have an opportunity to withstand the wind. And it was a repeated nature in each of those stories that each of the three little pigs went through in constructing their house. Each of them had a rationale. Each of them thought that theirs was the best. But they thought that because they had never been challenged. The repetition and the routine that they had created in that story had never, ever, ever been challenged. Another major way that we learn repetition is through the music that we listen to. One of my favorite songs, and it really lives low-key, rent-free in my head, is from a show that no longer comes on. But when it did, it had everybody in a chokehold. And that show is Lamb Chops. The name of the show is Lamb Chops. And I was working with children at that point. I don't know where I was in my life. Honestly, I'm not even going to lie to you. But I was doing something of that nature. But that song that never ends, because it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was. They'll continue singing it only just because this is the song that never ends. And as wild as that song is, and as crazy as it teaches us a very, very important unconscious lesson. And these are the ways that we are getting programmed through unconscious repetition. And Lamb Chops actually, as much as we thought that was a mindless song, in essence, it teaches us the importance of circles, the cycle of life, closed cycles, completion. And once you reach to that space of completion, it is forever. Once you close that cycle, it definitely can go on forever. So as mindless as that song seems on the surface, there are unconscious lessons being taught to us by the repetition of that song. And to bring it into our times, the music today, the fact that a verse is 16 bars, the fact that we hear the chorus several times. And although on the surface, it does seem like entertainment, there is a repetitive message being conveyed to us that we are subconsciously learning. Like Lamb Chops taught you, never give up, because the song goes on forever. Don't quit. And have you been around someone who will sing that song forever? The repetition in the music that we listen to is subconsciously teaching us message. One of my favorite songs in life is, oh my God, I just forgot her name. But the name of the song is Tom's Diner. And when I was a kid, you remember I told y'all about me being on punishment for that year and a half. That is one song that I listened to so many times. And the majority of it, all she's saying is do 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 do. And I love that song. There is an unconscious message in that song, as she just describing on the surface a regular day at Tom's Diner, and she's just sitting at a table drinking her coffee. The repeatedness of that do 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 is a message that we are unconsciously learning, that in our own lives we can get caught up in the mundane repetitiveness of it, almost as if we are on autopilot and missing tons of connections and opportunities for love, growth, and healing, because we have found ourselves in a repetitive cycle that we created. And it gives us a sense of safety. And all of this conversation is to bring this to awareness, because these tools are used to program our mind. So we can use these tools, repetition, to deprogram and reprogram our minds, because that's the goal in this healing process. We hit that fork in the road where we have a choice. Do we continue as who we were, or do we move forward in who we're supposed to be? Outside of our life, I've talked about it where we'll discuss biblically and spiritually how things connect for us. And biblically and spiritually is funny because as a matter of fact, what is it? Matthew 6:7. And in that verse, it gives us a warning about repetition. And it says, in praying, don't use repetition in vain. Like those who don't recognize who they are. Those people think that they will be heard, but their prayers are not genuine and true. They think they will be heard because they use a lot of words. And that is to let us know that in our prayers, communication with the universe and God and the ancestors, in our thought processes, in our words, in our behaviors, those are our prayers. It is warning us to be authentic and genuine, because this is something that should be repeated for the wellness of your heart. In your prayers, your communication, your behaviors, your words, your thoughts, those are prayers. So when you do those things, do not do them frivolously. Do them with authenticity and intentionality. Something else I found out while preparing for this, which is very interesting. Do you know what the most repeated phrase is in the Bible? And it depends on who you talk to, on who says it's either 365 times, one for every day, or 366 times, one for every day, including leap year. It was amazing to find out that the most used phrase in the Bible that is supposed to teach us a very important lesson, because it is repeated so much on a subconscious level, so it can be written into our essence, is fear not. 365 times, one for every day, to remind you who you are and to remind you to fear not. Now imagine if we actually did apply that affirmation to our daily life, what a difference it will make. And how important is that lesson where in a spiritual book that is supposed to guide you to your connection with God, The lesson is to fear not. That was a wild thing. And I appreciate learning this. I appreciate us working together and healing because we're learning together. And I don't want to say that the most important lesson in that book is to fear not, but I will say it is a very important lesson that we all can apply to our lives, and that is to not live in fear. The repetition is to remind us to not live our lives in a state of fear. One more thing. Oh, I got another thing. Still thinking about biblically. I got a couple of things. I looked up what is it? Psalms 136. And in Psalms, this sticks out to me because it says, for his steadfast love endures forever. So in this case, the steadfast is the repeated love, the repeated belief, the repeated chances, the repeated risk for doing all these things and either remaining righteous or getting back to your righteousness. For your steadfast, your 365 days of fear not, you get rewarded with a love that endures forever. And because that love is the love for yourself, it is the love for the church that resides inside of you. It is the love for the temple you are. It is the love and the respect for the connections with the people who also bring their temple. For your steadfast, your belief in yourself, you get rewarded with love and eternal love. And that's why we're on this path, right, family? That is why we are on this. I wrote down a little story about a general, but we only, for the sake of time, I'm gonna cut that out for a second, and we're gonna move on so I can make sure I wrap things up with a nice little bow for us. And again, family, I'm checking out things, so I know you see me looking to the side. But again, family, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you, Jay. I appreciate you, Black Man. As always, Toddy, I appreciate you coming back and joining the family because they started talking bad about you by not showing up no more. And you know, regardless on life, it's our steadfastness and our repeated ability to take that risk and be vulnerable that allows us to be rewarded. So, gratitude to all of you all, always, family. Always. So, okay, so I think at this time it's probably smart to try to figure out how does repetition tie into our other previous topics, which was the power of suggestion. And we discussed how suggestion can come in the thought. Listen, you try to embarrass me. I could do it. I could do it. I've been practicing. I've been practicing. Oh no, even better. I got one up for you, Todd, because you about to see this. I got one for you. You know how to upgrade the game. Yeah, you like that, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I got music too. Wait a minute. Here you go. Hold on, won't be too loud. I love you. Yeah. See, I need to start making sure I use some of these tools I have. But we discussed the power of suggestion and how simple suggestion can be well intended in the form of advice, how it can come as a simple idea, how it comes through experiences. We also talked about trauma and how traumatic experiences shape our mind, program our minds. And those experiences can be some of the strongest things to take us off our path of who we truly are. Because once we experience those traumas, we have a tendency to begin to protect ourselves from these experiences instead of learning the lessons of recognizing them and possibly avoiding them. We build up tools and weapons to deal with them and then are curious on how we are surrounded by traumatic events. We talked about symbolism and how it can show up as simple as things like marketing. Like this. My shirt is tremendous marketing. You don't even have to say what the name of this is. The symbol alone. That's how well that symbol has been at programming our minds. And repetition is the thread that holds it all together. Repeated suggestions, the repeated thoughts, the repeated experiences. The experience can happen one time, but you wind up having a tendency to keep reliving these thoughts and ideas. We have a tendency to find ourselves stuck in a space, vulnerable to the suggestions, to the symbols, and the impact of our trauma because of the repeated nature. This is why we were told look back, or you'll turn into a pillar of salt. It's not the act of looking back. The past is there for us to learn from, and so we don't repeat it. The problem resides when we get stuck in that place, surrounded by the symbols, surrounded by the evidence of the trauma, surrounded by the suggestions. And the repetition of them makes it so easy for it to intertwine with who we are and make us believe that who we are is a result of these things. But who you are is in spite of these things. And who we are individuals with the power and authority. It is our God-given right to design who we are. In alignment with the interconnectedness of everything. With our righteousness, we have the opportunity and the authority to design ourselves, redesign ourselves, update ourselves, whatever we want to do. That is our right. That is our free will. Right? So before we wrap up, what you think about often, Toddy? We talking bad. I'm catching up. You gotta help me out. I be tripping. Man, sometimes I look handsome streaming, huh? I'm just kidding. Listen, and we're gonna wrap it up because I think where we're at, I think we definitely at our hour right now. I get the jaw jacking a little bit. And since we added the, did somebody try to join? No notifications. Yeah, since we added the breathing exercises at the beginning, we have a little less time, which is a little better for me because it completes the show a little bit. Let me see. We are at our hour. I want to talk a little bit about that alchemist. And let me see. And it's ironic that we're talking about repetition because in the book that we're reading on Thursday, repetition shows up in so many different ways. So, like for example, we're hearing about this Englishman who is very good at recognizing the symbols because they are repeated. But his skill is cultivated in book knowledge. And he takes that book knowledge and he can apply it to life. He brings those dreams, those words, and brings them to life. That is his gift. But it's the repeated nature of the symbols in the book that he reads that he finds solace. The main character has a very good knack of recognizing the differences in the interactions between people and the universe around them. Whether it be how the shop owner interacted with the customers, whether it be the guides who are leading them through the desert, how they are interacting with the desert itself. He uses the signs, the elements outside of us because they are repeated to help recognize the direction you're supposed to go in. And something that was ironic, and I think that it kind of stands out in The Alchemist, in specifically in this section that we're reading now, is to make sure that we are aware of these things. And I think something else is important in recognizing the usefulness of people's talents who may not quite be like yours, but their destination is very much similar. Between books and looking at the elements, two contrasting things. And I think at this point in the book, they're missing that connection, but we won't as we apply it in life. There will be those that are cut from the same exact cloth as you. And they will do things so very different. But if you stand back and remain aware, you will be able to see that even though it's different, you both are working towards a shared goal. So I look forward to continuing that story as they make it into Egypt, I assume. Yeah. So as a reminder, traumatic experiences can program our minds. Simple suggestions can program our minds. Symbols around us can program our mind. And repetition completes the loop. So in our process to heal ourselves, we are going to be aware of the signs and symbols. We are going to learn from and move beyond to avoid, to be able to recognize traumatic events and find ourselves in more holistic events. And we will tie it all together with repetition. So family, okay. I could do like the show ending thing, but we're not yet. Family, we are going to be on the road next week. So Tuesday, I will be out of town. So I don't think that we will have the Tuesday show. But Thursday, I will be back. Okay, thank you. You heard what I said. Hey, Toddy, don't try to be nice to me, man. I'll give you that. I appreciate that. Because at least you did better than, I don't know if you were on the show that time, but you remember that time somebody came on Twitch and told me to take off my clothes? We have, that's who we ain't see today either. Our homeboy Messiah. I hope he all right. But that was probably the wildest time ever. Well, family, listen, you come on this show enough, interesting things happen out the blue. Very, 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 very randomly. So follow, bro, follow family. Listen, join the soul family. Join us on our healing journey. Because as we say, healing is a communal event. You need the support. You need the energy of those who are going in the same direction as you, right? So, yeah. Um, won't be here Tuesday, but we'll be here Thursday. Um, so join us for Thursday for book club where we continue reading The Alchemist. I think we're gonna get through that book quick. Or Tuesday, which we're here, we're doing live readings. And if you ever, I hadn't done reading in a while, I'm start pushing it. But anybody can join at any point, and it'll be my pleasure to do an energy reading for you during the show. So I thank you for your time. Oh, Toddy, man, listen. Um, oh, they are always posting for that the program director job. Every time I turn around, that job is posted. So I'm gonna think you need to reach out to me and let me know what's going on. Sorry, family. That's a side note. People work with me enough. They know me. We love each other. So we have a bunch of stuff that we talk about. And yeah, Sherry been putting y'all business in the street. And Sherry on she's on Facebook. So she'll we're gonna pretend like she ain't hears, right? But I appreciate your family. Toddy, you know what? I'll probably reach out to you or something. I got a question. I'm curious. So if you can't, well, next Tuesday we out of town. We're in Atlanta. I have some footage. We got to go get prepared for. We got some new laws that I got to get out here and train everybody about. So, and Thursday we see you Thursday for book club. We enjoy The Alchemist. And yeah, she told me she texted you. As after I told her you've been acting antisocial and not talking to the family. So, you know what I mean? You knew she was gonna reach out like, hey. Oh, Myrtle. Myrtle did quick. But I'm about to log. I'm about to shut down and I'll reach out to you. Family, much gratitude as always. You know I appreciate you. Oh man, I ain't even see you all on here. Listen, I've been looking at TikTok the longest. Marcia, I appreciate you as always. Yeah, it was the end. I must have spoke you up, brother, because I promise you I had just said, you know what I mean? We didn't see you. So it's the end. We not gonna be on next Tuesday, but you know we'll be Thursday. I'll be out of town. And doing this show out of town just winds up being way too much work. And I miss you, BFFFFFF, if you still on there. But see you Thursday. Love, peace, and happiness. Y'all enjoy your weekend. I'm going to no, I forget today Tuesday, so see you Thursday. But this weekend we're going to a rock and gym show that I'm so excited about. So I'm gonna get some, and a chili cook-off is this weekend. So this will be my second time. This will be my second time going to the chili cook-off, and that's gonna be lit. But family, stay safe, and I will see you on Thursday. Hopefully the music's still playing.